Hello again. I've been shopping. The shops are open again, so that means I could have a bit of a splurge on some records for a change. So I've got a few new things to show and a couple of old ones. See what you think. So this was the first record that I got in the first shop that I went to after the end of lockdown, and it was lovely to pick this up. This is a reissue of the Three Pieces, who were a sort of soul jazz band who released this in 1975. The reissue is in fact quite scarce these days as well, so I was really pleased to get this. Some lovely songs on here, some more jazzy, some more funky. Self-Dealing, I think, is the big one that springs to mind here. And the notable thing about this album is it was all produced by Donald Byrd, with a bit of help from Wade Marcus. So good names involved, and yeah, lovely thing to pick up. And I saw this, and I've been hoping to get a copy for a long time, but I've never really seen one. And then there it was. So lovely to get that. Really pleased. And keeping the connection with Donald Byrd, he was quite often associated with the Mizell brothers, who appear on a couple of tracks off this album by The Miracles. Now, I think this was their first album after Smokey Robinson left the group, and they had a new singer who was basically doing a Smokey impression. And the Mizells are on a couple of tracks here. Wigs and Lashes is one of them. And there's other big names involved here. I was just scanning my eyes over the back. I can see Willie Hutch, Leon Ware, H.P. Barnum. Nice. But the big name and the big track on this album is I Love You Secretly, produced by and co-written by none other than Marvin Gaye himself. So this album was released in 1973. So I think that's just after Let's Get It On, and it's very much got that Let's Get It On sound. You Sure Love to Ball, that song, it kind of sounds similar to that. I Love You Secretly. Really lovely though. Now I think Marvin recorded his own copy, his own version of this, because the singing sounds very like Marvin, but I don't know if that's just the Miracle singer finding his inner Marvin Gaye. But yeah, it's an interesting album. I picked it up very recently, so I haven't listened to it quite enough yet. But that was the big song that I went to, and that was the reason I got it. But yeah, I want to check out those other songs in a bit more detail as well. Some good stuff, and it's not an expensive record to get either. So lovely. So big names there, among whom I mentioned Leon Ware. So here's an album I had many years ago. I bought this when I did my first job after leaving school. I was working in the West End of London, and there were lots of record shops there, and I was learning all about music that way. And this was the first rare, expensive record that I got. I remember I paid £30 for it, and about a month or two later, it was reissued at a bargain price of £5, which was a bit gutting. All the more so because although this is quite a famous and highly regarded album, I don't love this album, and I've never been able to love this album. I've tried, but it just doesn't move me. I don't know. Now the title track, Why I Came to California, is lovely, and I did love that, and that's why I got this album. But you can get that track on loads of compilations and all sorts of things. But obviously, with my young enthusiasm, I thought I've got to get the album, and I was a bit disappointed, and I've never really loved the album since. I can't remember who it was, but somebody described it as when soul meets yacht rock, and basically I think that nails it. Perhaps explains why I don't like it very much. It's not a bad album. It doesn't have bad songs. It doesn't sound bad. It sounds great, but it just doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't enthuse me in the way that I'd hope. Apart from the song "Why I Came to California," which is great. I was listening to it just now, and it was good. It sounds good, but I know I wouldn't play it very often. So maybe I've got to keep going, and one day I will appreciate this album and give it the love that everybody else seems to. Nice to have though, an original promo copy, you can see there. So yeah, there we go. And actually checking, it seems to have depreciated in value. Slightly disappointing, but there we go. Don't buy records for investment. You buy them to listen to. That's what I say. So yeah, that's that Leon Ware from 1982, which is okay. But this one, which I got recently from a shop, I was very pleased to find. Musical Massage by Leon Ware. Lovely copy, this. Sadly had a few stickers on it, but never mind. Sounds good. And this is a very smooth album, much like the other one. But it just sounds so warm and very different for me. This was from 1976, and I think famously this was kind of half given to Marvin Gaye for his album I Want You. So you can see the similarities, and I love I Want You. And this album's a classic. I think this is very highly regarded and loved by all. And yeah, I don't really have much to say about it other than it's fantastic. And I saw it in the shop, didn't think twice. So nice. Nice to have a bit of Leon Ware, definitely. He's always kind of a slightly undercover artist, perhaps. People don't, he's never been like a huge star, but he's sort of in the background doing great things on his own and with other people and for other people. So yeah, nice to have those. Another great album which I got from a shop, which was really exciting, and I never thought I'd actually see this. It is a reissue, but this is Nuban, who are a sort of soul jazz, slightly acoustic and folky group. This is from 1977. This is their second album, surprisingly. They have one before this, which I don't know, but if it's anything like this, I want to check it out. This is just wonderful. This is my real pick, actually, of since the return of record shops. This has been my really pleasing find. I did know the song. The big song here is Free Your Mind, but it's got other stuff which is really great as well, and the whole album sticks together, and I've been listening to it back to back. In fact, it's on the turntable now. Lovely stuff. And curiously, this group, Nuban, they then went on to form Atlantic Star, the soul boogie disco group, and they sound nothing like Nuban. They sound like two totally different groups. This is much more jazzy and slightly acoustic and very mellow and kind of breeziness to it. Whereas Atlantic Star, it's all a bit pomp and razzmatazz. I love this. This is great. I'm sure many people may know it, but if you don't, investigate, I would say. And if you can find a copy, do. They're not easy to find. There have been reissues, so not impossible, but lovely record. And one more to show. It's a compilation I did have on CD, and I saw this in a shop and I snapped it up because it was nice that the vinyl copy has a few extra tracks. This is from the Numero group, Belize City Boil Up. So very obscure music, obviously, from a pretty obscure country. Not many people know much about Belize, the English-speaking country in Central America. But it's at one of those sort of axis points where cultures meet. So musically speaking, you've got reggae, you've got Latin, you've got calypso, you've got soul, you've got funk, all in this boil up sound that you get. And it's a great compilation. There's a real mixed bag of styles and things, but lots to delve into, lovingly put together. And you know, Numero Group are very famous for doing this sort of thing, finding those obscure records for us to enjoy and packaged very nicely. Although, let's be honest, it's really annoying that they don't put a track listing, but I don't want to complain too much, but you do have to crane your neck as the record's going around to try and read who the songs are by. But anyway, lovely album, definitely recommend that one, worth looking out for. So that's what I've been listening to. It's nice to be back in shops to actually feel the records between your fingers as you go through and have a listen, and yeah, long may it continue. I'll put a few needle drops, see what you think, but until next time, cheers.
take your time. It's only you, that's what it takes. Your freedom dream is just like mine. A simple whim that's only real. Your hopes and prayers are songs of joy.